What's going on, y'all? Welcome to the Triple Z podcast. I'm your host, Isaiah Henry. The Minnesota Timberwolves forced a Game 7, defeating the Denver Nuggets 115 to 70. You heard that correctly. 115 to 70. The Denver Nuggets, the defending champs, with a player who just earned his third MVP in 4 years, Nikola Jokic, the Denver Nuggets scored 70 points in a playoff game. That's wild. That is wild. Throughout this series, Minnesota has been playing amazing defense. But I thought to myself, game 2 in Denver was the best defensive game I've ever seen in my life. But I asked myself, is that kind of defense sustainable? Because that's putting a lot of effort on the defensive end. You're in sync with your teammates. Your communication is clear. Your rotations are executed to a T. Everything is clicking for you defensively, and then it's generating offense for you on the other end. With Anthony Edwards getting down in transition, scoring the basketball, pull-up threes, getting to the rim, finishing at the hole. It's doing a lot for your offense when your defense is really locked in like that. So I questioned myself, asking, is that sustainable? The start of this game, it was going towards Denver. But then once Minnesota clicked into that defensive mindset that they can really lock into, it was wraps from there. It was over. It was another game where Jamal Murray and Jokic don't have great games. They don't shoot great from the field. The bench for Denver was nowhere to be found at all. You're probably going to see some bench points in the final box score, but this game was long finish before the bench unit really got substituted in, because it's mostly Brown and Justin Holiday playing off the bench in real minutes of the game. But you're probably going to see some of Denver's unknown bench players with some points. But this game was wow for the Denver Nuggets. They couldn't make a shot. That's what it felt like. And you got to give credit to Minnesota's defense. They made it absolutely difficult for Denver to get a shot off. And there was moments in this game where Denver had some easy looks. They just couldn't knock it down. And then that was this energy for Minnesota just to score on the other end. I mean, Anthony Edwards in this game, he was scoring those kind of buckets where it felt as if this can happen all night long. I'm on a constant motor. I'm not turning this off at all. He was just applying pressure. Pull-up threes, going to the rim, finishing strong with the he had a moment where, who did he caught? I think it was Michael Porter Jr. He caught him with a hezzy, drives right, and then finished with a tomahawk dunk. The score was nowhere even close, right? So, I mean, assuming that somebody makes a dunk like that, play like that, expect that play to be hype. He's getting the crowd into it. But Anthony Edwards, after he finished it with the tomahawk dunk, he had a serious face. It almost gave off the vibe as if he does this. This ain't nothing new. I does this on the regular. I'm here for the moment. I'm not backing down. I'm with all the smoke. That's the type of energy Anthony Edwards gives in an NBA game. He's phenomenal. He's special to watch. Special to watch. Naz Reid had a better game. Nickeil Alexander-Walker had some moments as well. Jaden McDaniels hit some big shots. Mike Conley, who missed Game 5 with the Achilles injury, returned to the lineup. He was a huge factor. They really missed him. And I think that's when Ant was able to himself in a rhythm offensively, because without Mike Conley, he's the main ball handler. So if you have Anthony Edwards at the top of the key, that's more eyes on Anthony Edwards. But when you have Mike Conley, somebody else that can make a play without Anthony Edwards being involved, whether it's a shot for himself, he likes to get that right hand floater even though he's a lefty, pick and roll situation with Karl Anthony Towns or Rudy Gobert, Mike Conley could do a lot of things. So when you got Anthony Edwards just roaming around trying to get to his spots and get some easy buckets, it's going to be a long night for you, especially when your defense isn't doing anything to stop him at all in this game. And Minnesota from 3 was money. I'm not sure. Let me see what they shot from 3. Went 15 of 40 from 3, which is 38%. Denver, they put up a lot of threes, but none of it was even touching the net. Denver went 7 of 36 from 3, 19%. They shot 30% from the field, 78% from the free throw line. Jamal Murray, 4 of 18 from the field. Yeah, for what? 10 points, minus 32. I mean, Yeah, that's not going to get the job done. Joker, 9 of 19 from the field, 0 of 4 from 3, minus 25 for 22 points. Yeah, not going to get it done. Not going to get it done. I don't know. Like, that's insane to me. Minnesota's defense is just ridiculous. I didn't think game two's defense can be replicated, but you can argue they had a better defensive game in game six than they did in game two. 70 points for the defending champs with Nikola Jokic, Jamal Murray, Michael Porter Jr., all these guys that can really play at a championship level as they've proven before. To score 70 points only? Damn. 70 points is crazy. That's wild. That is wild. Something that was bothering me during this game. I'm not sure if this was Denver's ideal matchups. Not ideal matchups. No way this could have been an ideal defensive matchup. But Jamal Murray was caught in so many situations where he had to guard Karl Anthony Towns or Naz Reid on the block. I did not understand that. And it wasn't as if they were switching, but anytime Denver got back in transition on the defensive end, somehow, some way, Jamal Murray will find himself guarding Cat or Naz Reid, which is an easy mismatch. Come on. You're going to have to send a double team every single time. And speaking of double teams, I liked Minnesota's approach to slowing down Jokic, which worked. They sent a double team. The very first possession for Denver, Minnesota sent the double team with Anthony Edwards coming to double. Getting it right out of Jokic's hand because he went off in the last game. He destroyed Rudy Gobert. Dropped the easy 40 points on him. Shooting efficiently from the field and three. So they need to find a way, Minnesota needs to find a way to slow Jokic down and have the mindset, you're not going to beat us. We're going to force you to get the others involved. Where we're just going to get the ball in your hand because whether you have the ball, because when you have the ball, we can't stop you. But when you don't have the ball, we're able to dictate the game a little bit better for our chances. And that's what Minnesota did. Jokic didn't have a great game. Same thing with Jamal Murray. Jamal Murray hasn't looked good in these NBA playoffs. For the entire NBA playoffs, he has not been looking good. He's had some games here and there, but he has not been good, especially in this series. And Anthony Edwards has been, I can say, the primary defender on Jamal Murray, whether it's applying pressure on Jamal Murray in the backcourt, making it a little bit more difficult for Jamal Murray to bring up the ball. There was a moment in the game, like if you was watching this game, you remember Anthony Edwards kind of had that scary fall with his back. He was on the ground on his belly, like he was not moving, which looked concerning, but he did get up from that injury. He was able to go to the bench, stretch out a little bit, but then he got back on the court. As soon as Denver inbound the ball, after Anthony Edwards was on the ground, called a timeout and all that type of stuff to make sure he was good, he instantly picks up Jamal Murray 94 feet. Instantly. Not using that back as like an excuse, not giving Jamal Murray any type of space. Like he was applying pressure to Jamal Murray in the backcourt, all the way up the court. I mean, this guy is a freak of nature. Anthony Edwards is a freak of nature. And he was mic'd up a few times where you could hear how he was talking to his teammates. He was just saying, apply pressure, don't ease up at all. I know we have a big lead, but make sure you apply pressure. Let's beat them right now. That's something you look for from your franchise player and superstar player in Anthony Edwards. Being able to lead the group vocally, by example, because his play style is ridiculous. He's been absolutely phenomenal throughout the entire 2024 NBA playoffs. And then going there out on the court against the defending champs and putting on an absolute show. Shutting it down in Game 6 and forcing a Game 7 back in Denver. I believe this will be our first time seeing Anthony Edwards in a Game 7. I'm looking forward to it. I am looking forward to it. Now, here's the thing about Game 7. I don't know who's going to win. I will admit, I had Denver winning Game 6 tonight. Obviously, they lost. But I did say after, if it goes to 7, I don't know who's going to win. No clue. Absolutely no clue. Because this series has been up and down. Minnesota won the first two games convincingly, especially with their defense. Like, Denver couldn't do anything against Minnesota's defense. Then, games 3 and 4, Denver comes back, tie the series. They make some adjustments. Jokic has a phenomenal series on the road. Jamal Murray started to find himself a little bit. Same thing with Aaron Gordon. And the Denver Nuggets were looking like the defending champs again. They go back home to game 5. Jokic has another great performance and it completely annihilates the defensive player of the year, Rudy Gobert. But then in game 6, Minnesota makes the adjustment. All right, we're going to send a double team at Jokic, force it out of his hands, let the others make plays. If we get it out of Jokic, because we can't do anything with him one-on-one. Rudy can't guard him, Cat can't guard him, Ant can't guard him, Naz Reid can't guard him. No one on our team can guard him. We're a great defensive team overall and individually, but nobody on our team individually can stop Jokic. What we can do, we can bother Jamal Murray. We can stop KCP from getting those three-point looks. Same thing with Michael Porter Jr. We can find a way to minimize Aaron Gordon in this series. And their bench can't keep up with our bench. Nickeil Alexander-Walker, a dog. Naz Reid, 6th man of the year. He's putting up a performance every single night. Minnesota has all the pieces. They have all the pieces. They got their superstar player. And especially with this coach as well. Micah Nori, his coaching has been pretty damn great in this series as well. Given the opportunity to be the head coach while Chris Finch, who's the original coach, is out with a leg injury. I mean, Mike is doing everything to put the Timberwolves in a position where they can win this series and advance to the conference finals. I think he's doing a phenomenal job. This will definitely be on other NBA teams that's searching for a coach. He's going to be on other people's radars that's looking for a coach. So I think he's doing a phenomenal job with this roster. But, I mean, that's the thing. 70 points is crazy. I don't know how Denver's going to bounce back. I don't know how the Timberwolves are going to play in Game 7. But I am looking forward to it. I mean, this series, this by far has been the best series. By far. By far. Not even close. Not even close. Probably the best series we've seen in the last 2 years. In the last 2 postseasons. This is probably the best series. You have a superstar player in Anthony Edwards leading a great defensive team and a team that's proven that they can match up with the Denver Nuggets. They can match up with the champs. And then you also have a team in the Denver Nuggets with the reigning MVP, Nikola Jokic, who's been in these moments before and has prevailed. I'm looking forward to Game 7. Thank you guys for listening to Triple Z Podcast. Please like, subscribe to the channel. Let me know down in the comment section who you have winning Game 7, and I'll see you guys next time. Zzz.